Okay, so the next question says, a tour bus company offers a sightseeing tour as shown in the advertisement. So here's our advertisement over here. It actually has some good information. Okay, standard adult ticket is €60, optional lunch is €15. On a given day, a number of adults buy a €60 ticket for the tour. All except 12 of these adults pay the additional €15 for the lunch. Okay, so all except 12, okay, are paying the additional €15. A tour company took in a total of €4,770 on this day. Calculate the total number of adults who bought tickets for the tour on this day. Okay, so I already know that 12 of them paid for just €60 for a ticket. Okay, so I already know that that's how the company took in some of that money. Okay, 12 people paid just €60 for a ticket. Okay, now if I let X be the amount of people who paid for lunch, okay, so the number who paid for lunch, okay, then to that I can add on the €75 by this X amount of people. Okay, and from all that I will get my €4,770. Okay, so I need to figure out, right, how many people paid for the lunch, and then I can add that to the 12 who didn't pay for my total amount. Okay, so 12 times 60 is 720. So 720 plus 75x is equal to 4770. Okay, so we need to get x on a side by itself. There's a 75 that's multiplying and a 720 that's adding. So get rid of what's adding first by subtracting. So subtract 720 there. So that we will get 75x is 4,050. So that's how much they took in from the people who paid for lunch, is this amount. Okay, so I'm going to divide now by the 75 that each of those people paid to get x, the amount of people. Okay, so x, so 4,050 divided by 75, and I'm going to get 54. Okay, so 54 people paid for lunch. Okay, and I need to add on to that the people who didn't pay, so add on the 12 so that I get 66 in total. Okay, so 66 adults. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is we could have let X, instead of being the people who paid for lunch, we could have let it be the total amount of people. Okay, so we could have said, okay, let's see. We have the total amount of people pay for the €60 basic ticket. Okay, so the €60 basic ticket is paid by everyone. And then how many people paid for lunch? So how many people paid the extra €15? All of those X people except 12. Okay, so the basic ticket is paid for by everyone, and the €15 extra is by everyone except for those 12. Okay, and I could have used that to get me what is 4770. Okay, so if I do it this way, it's going to work out the exact same. Okay, because I'm going to get, well, I need to simplify the left hand side, so multiply out that bracket. So 15 by x, and then 15 by 12 is 180. So minus 180 is 4770. Okay, so I can add these x's together. Oops. Okay, so add the x's together, so I get 75x. Okay, and I'm going to move the 180 over to the other side, so I'm going to add it on to the 4770. So that I get 75x is 4950. And then when we get rid of the 75 by dividing, we will get that x is, so that divided by 75 is our 66. Okay, so 66 adults. Okay, so some of you done it this way, some of you done it this way. They are both perfect. Okay, so 66 adults bought tickets on the day. Question C says, during the tour, the bus must pass through a tunnel. The curve of the tunnel can be described using this equation here. Okay, so this equation here, what type of quadratic is this? It's a negative leading coefficient. Okay, look, remember we know the shape of what a quadratic looks like because of the sign in front of the x squared. So it's a minus here, it's a negative. Okay, so if I was to think about that, that means that it is a sad face quadratic because of that negative that's in front. Okay, so I have a negative quadratic to show me the shape of a tunnel. Okay, and there it is here. And it says the bus is 4.5 meters tall and 2.44 meters wide. It passes through the center of the tunnel. Okay. The bus and the roof of the tunnel are shown in the graph below. Write down the coordinates of the point B. So this here is the bus. This is the tunnel. Okay, so the bus was 4.5 meters tall. Okay, and it was 2.44 meters wide. So from the center, it goes half of that left and half of that right. So 1.22 to the right. Okay, so my coordinates are literally from the center. Okay, my x coordinate is 1.22 outwards. Okay, so here, 1.22. Okay, and then crossways here, it's 4.5. Okay, then it says find the coordinates of the point A vertically above B and on the roof of the tunnel. So vertically above B means it has the same x coordinate. Okay, look, we know the x coordinate straight away. It's 1.22. Okay, so straight away I can write sum of this point as 1.22. Okay, now I still need to find, well, what is the matching y coordinate? Okay, but I have been given an equation for how to get y if I have x. So I get that equation. Okay, so y is 6.125 and I am taking away from that 0.5 times x squared. So 1.22 squared. Okay, so remember, if you're doing this out bit by bit instead of doing it in your calculator, that squared part, that's an indice. So in BIMDAS, that comes before this multiplication here. Okay, or you can just type it all into your calculator. Okay, and get 5.3808. Okay, so that is my matching y coordinate here. So what was it? 5.3808. Okay, that is my point A. Okay. So then it says, hence find the distance from A to B, the clearance between the roof and the bus of the tunnel. Remember on a graph, if you're finding a distance that is just literally like on a straight line, so either from here to here, okay, and let's say I'm going from the point 1 to 6, okay, if I am making that horizontal line between here and here, okay, and I'm not going up or down, then it is literally just how many numbers do you pass going from 1 to 6. Okay, so we have lines on each side because it's a distance. Okay, so from 1 to 6, I technically 1 minus 6 is minus 5, but it's a distance. So it's positive, so it's 5. Okay, it is the exact same thing here with the vertical lines. Okay, my vertical lines here, it's directly above. So I can literally say the x coordinate doesn't change. So what is the distance between the y coordinates? Because the x coordinate is the exact same between them. Okay, so this is a nice easy one for me to do if I spot that. If I spot that it's literally just that the distance between A to B, so remember those lines mean distance, okay, is literally just the difference in the y coordinates. So 5.3808 and taking away there the 4.5. Okay, from this y coordinate here, so that we get 0.8808. Okay. They have given us units, meters. Okay, so in meters. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The other way is from seeing these lines. Okay, you might want to open up your log tables on page 18 and write down your formula and do it that way. Okay, so you can do it that way if you want. Okay, so the distance from A to B is, and then get your formula from your log tables. Okay, you can label these points as x1, y1, x2, y2, and fill in your formula there. Okay, and you'll still get the exact same answer. Okay, all you'll notice is that the x2 minus x1 is going to give you a value of 0 because they're just not making a difference to your answer here. Okay, but that will still be a perfectly correct answer for you. If you do it out this way, you'll still get the same answer here.